Birbal's Odes. Tales of Akbar and Birbal. There once lived a mighty emperor named Akbar who ruled over the lands of India. He had a court full of fountains, peacocks, and some of the smartest men in the entire country as his ministers. The smartest of them all was Birbal. All the other ministers were often envious of him because of his sharp wit and his friendship with the emperor. Once on a cold winter day, Akbar and Birbal were taking a walk by a lake.
The Foolish Thief. Tales of Akbar and Birbal. Help! Help! I've been robbed! Came a loud cry from the royal bakery. Everyone at the palace rushed in to see what the commotion was all about. Yash, the royal baker, looked around in shock. Gone, I tell you, all gone. Indeed, the vanilla cakes, chocolate muffins, strawberry shortcakes, and the king's favorite mango cakes had all disappeared. Only a faint smell of sweet pastries remained to haunt the baker with their memory. Someone took all the fresh pastries, he cried out, making the servants gasp. It became clear to everyone why Yash the baker was so miserable. With chef's hat drooping down over his head, he eyed the empty bowls in the kitchen with despair. What will I serve the king today? He cried. Everyone knew how much King Akbar loved his pastries. Meanwhile, up at the palace, King Akbar sat waiting at the royal breakfast table, eyeing the spread. He glanced at the fruits, bread, juice, tea, eggs, everything but sweet pastries. Still dressed in his pajamas, he restlessly tapped the fork on his table, eager to get started. Birbal, his minister and close friend, sat looking at the king. As was tradition, nobody would begin eating until the king took his first bite. Minutes passed, and it seemed like the entire court would go hungry today. I can't even smell the pastries, King Akbar grumbled, rubbing his tummy. Go check up on Yash, the royal baker, he asked his royal guard when suddenly a maid came rushing in. The king raised his head to see if she was carrying the pastries, but her hands were empty. My lord, she panted, gasping for air. Someone took the pastries, she muttered. King Akbar suddenly regained his composure at the mention of the pastries. What happened to my pastries? Someone robbed the bakery. All the pastries are gone, she replied softly. King Akbar stood up. He was very hungry and now in a very bad mood. How can someone steal pastries from the royal bakery? I will punish the baker for his carelessness. There are two things we know about King Akbar. One, he gets angry very quickly. And two, boy, does he love his pastries. My lord, don't worry, said Birbal. He knew that he had to help. I'll help you find the thief. Don't punish the poor baker. If we don't find the thief, I will fire the careless baker, King Akbar declared. Birbal went down to the bakery and saw the frightened baker sitting in a corner of the room. Yash's face went pale when he saw Birbal. Please don't punish me, he wept. Birbal patted him on the back to console him. Don't worry, I know you're scared. I will help you find the thief. Birbal made a list of the servants who visited the bakery in the morning. It was a long list because the court had so many helpers. He called everyone to meet him, from the gardener, the queen's maid, even the stable boy. Everyone had assembled. If you admit your mistake now, you won't get punished. I promise, he called out. But no one spoke up. Whoever the thief was, he must have been confident that he wouldn't get discovered. There were so many of them. How would Birbal even figure it out? Okay then, everyone, please take a stick. I have dipped each stick in a truth potion blessed by the Pandits. By tomorrow morning, only one stick will have grown by 2 inches, and that will be the robber stick. We will soon discover who has stolen the pastries. The next morning, there was a lot of activity in the royal court. I wonder whose stick grew longer. The maids were whispering, comparing their sticks with each other. Our sticks are normal, and their sticks did look normal. Did the truth potion even work? They were all so curious as to what Birbal had in mind. All the helpers were asked to stand in a line to return their sticks. Even the ministers had all received a stick. One by one, they gave their stick to the royal guards, who measured each one carefully. I found the thief, Birbal declared suddenly. The royal guards quickly grabbed the man before he could leave. Let me go. How did you know? Said the servant, confused. Birbal smiled. Look at your stick. It's shorter than the others. There was no truth potion, and all the sticks are the same size as yesterday, except for yours. Only the real thief would try to cover it up by cutting his stick short. The king applauded Birbal. Once again, he had proved that his mighty wit could solve any problem. And what about Yash the baker, you ask? He baked Birbal's favorite coconut cake for a month.